What do we say?
Hi, my name's Georgia.
And I'm Brandon, and this is our Divergent project for Lord of the Flies. Basically, what we're going to be doing is taking quotes from chapter 6 through 12 and analyzing them using references from other things. One of those things being Animal Farm by George Orwell, and TV shows and movies that we think relate.
Yep.
I will be starting us off with a quote from chapter 6. I'm Chief, we've got to make certain. Can't you see the mountain? There's no signal showing. There may be a ship out there. Are you all off your rockers? Page 108. So Ralph is showing irritation towards the other boys because they won't comply to what he says. They're not keeping the fire alive, and it's possible that there could have been a ship that could have seen it when it wasn't going. So he's getting angry at them for not doing what he says. In another book that we read called Animal Farm, there was a leader named Napoleon who was constantly getting furious at the other animals on the farm. But in Lord of the Flies, in my opinion, Ralph is still a good leader, but anyone in a position with control exhibits some level of Napoleon's leadership style, which is oppressive. We all get angry when working with a group of people that don't share the same ideas as us, and we are able to see that Ralph is going through this struggle.
Yeah, so and then that brings us to chapter 7. That quote from chapter 7 is, "If you don't want to go on," said the voice sarcastically, "I'll go up by myself." Ralph heard the mockery and hated Jack. The sting of ashes in his eyes, tiredness, fear enraged him. "Go then, we'll wait here." There was silence. "Why don't you go? Are you frightened?" And this is from page 121. I feel like this quote is similar to a movie about like high school where someone else is trying to pressure another person into doing something that they don't feel comfortable doing. For example, like drugs or just like a dangerous prank. And the person being pressured into this goes along with it because they feel like they need to prove themselves, or they need to like show that they're like can fit in or like keep up with other people. This quote is just similar to 13 Reasons Why, because in that movie you see a lot of kids drinking even though they know that they shouldn't be. And they're smoking the devil's lettuce. Like, who do you think you are? You're like a sophomore, you know? And they all do that because they feel the pressure to prove themselves or be like everybody else, which is what Ralph is trying to get Jack to do, is pressure him to doing something he knows he shouldn't. In chapter 8, page 126, the quote says, "Ralph's like Piggy. He says things like Piggy. He isn't a proper chief." And this was said by Jack. Ralph started to become more and more disliked by the other children. Jack was the one spreading the rumors about him not being a substantial leader anymore because he was starting to behave similar to Piggy in the other boys' eyes. So Jack was using this against Ralph. In Animal Farm, something similar happens between two leaders, Napoleon and Snowball. Snowball! Okay. Napoleon, like Jack, wanted to be in control and achieved this goal by manipulating the opinions of the other animals by changing their perspective of Snowball by using rumors. So for chapter 9, the quote we used was, "Before the party had started, a great log had been dragged into the center of the lawn, and Jack, painted and garlanded, sat there like an idol. There were piles of meat on green leaves near him, and fruit and coconut shells full of drink." And this is from page 148 and 149. This quote shows that Jack thinks that he's literally a god, like he's better than everybody else, and that Jack has manipulated the other boys around him into thinking the same thing, that he's better than everybody else. Basically, he's manipulating all the other children, so they start thinking that he is ruler of all, and they start changing their morality based on his decisions. So killing is no longer bad. Torture is no longer bad. Yeah. So, in chapter 10, the chief was sitting there, naked to the waist, his face blocked out in white and red. The tribe lay in a semicircle before him.
page 160. So like in my head, all I'm envisioning is like okay, yeah, so this reminds me of one of those witch movies where they all have like a seance. They're basically worshiping him like an idol.
Oh.
What are you doing?
The quote we used for chapter 11 was, Jack made a rush and stabbed at Ralph's chest with his spear. This is on page 177. This quote is really similar to like a horror movie, where like in that movie, once the killer gets a taste of what it feels like to kill someone, then they just crave that feeling over and over again, which makes them repeat their actions. And in Lord of the Flies, Jack, once he gets a taste of what it feels like to cause like pain to someone else, then he just constantly craves it. So this is what causes him to go and hurt Ralph.
Well, yeah, so the same quote reminds me of like Criminal Minds, where the killer literally gets high off of killing people and doesn't stop until the police catch them. So they literally like get a rush and they're addicted to it. So yeah, Jack is like literally starts becoming addicted to the pain of others. Okay. So in chapter 12, you got to go because it's not safe. They made us, they hurt us. Who, Jack? Oh no, they bent down to him and lowered their voices. Push off, Ralph. It's a tribe, they made us. We couldn't help it. Page 188. So that sounded like freaking confusing, but basically it's a bunch of other people talking and they're all talking like at the same time, right? But, you know, we thought that this quote like reminds us of a frat movie where they have to like go through a form of initiation to be accepted into the group because everyone's pressuring Ralph to do something, and obviously Ralph is resistant to do it. And like in a frat house and stuff, you have to do something that's like
you're uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
So we thought they were similar situations.
Yeah.